Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Buddies on Buddies, a show with two real life buddies talking about buddy action comedy movies. I'm Kenny Lane.
I'm Lucas Hill.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Wow, coming at you. How you doing?
I'm good. Sorry for this emergency Buddies on Buddies episode. We rarely do more than one a month, let alone one a week.
Yeah.
But it
Want
came
to
to
get
our
that message from?
attention and we had
Oh,
to
go ahead.
tackle it. We had to tackle it.
Yeah. I got a message from you saying, hey, you ready to do it Friday? Which is really strange for Lucas, who, doesn't want to do it within, a couple weeks, let alone sit next week. I was like, wow, it's first.
Well, the movie is Balls Up, and I just came out this week, right after last week where we did a modern movie. So I figured, look, when a buddy action comedy comes out, we have to get at it. Otherwise, what are we doing? It's our job. It pays
As
for our lifestyles. We have to do it
as the curators of Buddies on Buddies, we must cover the buddy action comedies, even though we let a lot of them slip through our grasps that come straight to Prime
all the time.
or one of the Hulu or one of the streaming
Yeah.
channels.
Well, I think this one struck me. It's because it's Peter Farley and being comedy kids in our formidable years in the 90s when they were at their height. It's kind of important to us to see what he's doing now.
Oh yeah, Kingpin's still like I think a five-star classic comedy for me. And, Dumb and Dumber and Something About Mary and all that stuff. Kind of stumbled, has had a lot more misses than hits. Did direct the Academy Award-winning Green Book.
hmm hmm
His first movie since that, or probably not. That's probably like 10 years ago.
No,
But
he did that beer run movie or whatever, the greatest beer run of all time, where
oh
he goes to
yeah,
Vietnam. Yeah.
with yeah, they kind of came and went, but yeah.
Yeah, it bombed pretty hard and got horrible reviews. Yeah, not a critical darling, Peter Farley, but since we just did one last week, I think we can just jump right into it, right? We don't
We'll just
need
jump
to
right in. Yeah, we don't.
like how have you been this last week? What's new?
Yeah, we know we already caught up.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? Well, I saw this movie. I didn't really know this movie existed until you like messaged me with the poster and said, "Hey, this is up." And I felt like a little like when I woke up and saw that there was a new War of the Worlds movie starring Ice Cube on Prime that had no advertising or anything till the day it was on available. I was like, this is probably going to be something.
And it was something.
It was
Um, First, real quick, is there anything you watched that you want to talk about in this last week?
No, let's go right
Okay,
into
okay,
balls out. I
okay.
keep wanting to call it balls out, but it's balls up.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. I'm the same way. So overall, what did you think of this movie? Just your general thoughts.
General thoughts is I liked it. I thought it was pretty funny, entertaining. I was surprised I liked it so much since it's getting just panned across the board very harshly.
Yeah, no, not harshly. Understandably, I agree. I liked it way more than I thought I would. But
Mhm.
again, I had the lowest of low expectations, which
Yeah,
I'm sure you did as well.
yeah,
So it's hard to go that they were wrong because it is just one long penis joke. But it was
yeah.
surprising to me how many bits I was like, I laughed. I laughed more than maybe any movie we've done.
I've laughed a lot during this movie. I was
Yeah.
surprised. I thought it was pretty funny. So yeah, I mean, but also going into balls up, I was not expect. I thought it was gonna be torture. And the first 5 minutes or so, I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be the longest 106 minutes of my life. But I don't know.
Well, let's go into some strengths before we get into the negatives, and there are negatives, and there are reasons this movie is hated as much as it is, and understandably so. Look, whatever you think of this movie, I don't think you're going to stand in a courtroom and go, "You're wrong, sir. You're wrong. Balls up is good."
Oh, I don't know. I liked it, so I don't know. Like, yeah, people can dislike it. I can see why people can dislike it if they don't like these dumb movies like this. But I enjoyed it, so I don't know. Yeah,
Okay, first of all, Baron Cohen's in this. It's a great cast, and he
hmm
surprisingly is in this a lot. But I thought he was very funny, and his character was funny.
yeah. I thought the character was funny. I thought a lot of, like I said, laugh out loud moments. There was a lot of like funny like set pieces too, like the whole jamming the cocaine cock and ball condom down your throat all at once. Yeah, there was a. I thought it was actually some inspired writing. Dare I say?
But him in particular, I thought was
But
funny.
yeah.
He's always funny, but he's always doing his thing with his accents, and he has this weird accent.
hmm
But I thought he was funny. Yeah, there are funny lines and moments throughout. Even in the opening, it opens up. relatively solid with Paul Thomas Hauser,
Yeah,
Waller.
what is his name? Paul Walker Hauser,
Yeah, that's something
something
like
like
that.
that. Yeah,
And his
I think it's Paul Walker. Paul Walker. There's Paul Walker Hauser.
I met him before. He's very nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, before he was famous. He's probably a
Yeah.
dick now. No, he was very nice. And Mary met him because he did improv with my group one time, and he was a sweetheart.
Wow, right
Uh,
on.
but yeah, him doing his sales speech and talking about how he'd rather be dead and he's hoping a meteor would hit the world.
Yeah.
All that stuff was very funny.
Yeah, it was good. I
But
thought he was funny. Yeah.
the funniest part in the movie, can we just jump to what I thought was the funniest part in the movie?
Sure.
The Someone I Used to Know karaoke.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty a good setup, good, good delivery. Yeah, the whole thing was pretty funny.
The way he's like, I don't want to do karaoke. Do karaoke, you pussy. And that just cuts to him doing that. And to Mark Wahlberg's credit, he's trying to do the voice. And that song and that timing of the cut was
Yeah.
very funny. And then it slowly reveals that Paul Hauser is right there
Mm-hmm.
and doing the other half of that. I thought that was very funny.
Well, I thought the segue into it when that woman comes up and says, Do you like karaoke?" And he says, "Okie dokie." And he goes, "Do you like titties?" He goes, "A little bitty." Just good writing.
I read that as something they wrote, and then we're like, okay, we're gonna cut that later, and then they just never did because they
Oh, the
felt.
whole movie I think was like we're gonna cut that later. I don't think that's what I kind of liked about it.
But yeah, other than that, the positives are the relationship works eventually. You
Yeah,
know,
I thought they had great chemistry, but I thought it worked fine, and their arcs were fine. Yeah, believe they're friends at the end.
both of them are very good in this. Like, I'm not a big Mark Wahlberg guy, but I thought they were both good in this. They're like
Yeah,
seasoned Academy nominated actors.
yeah. No, I thought it was all around. I am surprised. I am not really that surprised because like I know the letterbox community being on there for a couple of years, I kind of know what they're gonna like and what they won't. But it's just funny just that this is getting panned so hard across the board. Like balls up was what were you expecting? And I don't know. They didn't think it was funny. I don't get it.
Well, I agree. It is 80% dick jokes. And I don't like dick jokes. I don't like toilet humor.
Mm-hmm.
When you start a dick joke or toilet humor, your back's against the wall because everybody can make these jokes.
Yeah.
Everybody can fart or point out that someone farted. So you're going to have to heighten it somehow. I don't think this movie did that. But
I don't
there
know.
are
I don't think
other moments that hit
yeah.
it and that hit really well, you know?
Well, I don't know what to call it, just all dick jokes. I mean, yeah, they're like condom salesmen. They just all do that. But there's a lot of like physical humor, just where like they're knocking each other's boxes over in the parking lot when they're kind of fighting. There's a lot of funny lines. There's a lot. I don't know. I found a lot to laugh at in this movie.
Yeah, but the big, like the fish climbing up the stream into his dick, they literally show the dick. He's mad at the dick. I can't believe you would say that. I don't think there's that many dick jokes. The whole thing was wall to wall dick jokes.
Well, I guess I was expecting dick jokes, and they get a lot of dick jokes. But I'll say, yeah, that some of the big ones. Look, this is not like I wouldn't say it's like a great movie or anything. Yeah, it's got some problems, like the cliches, like the waterfall when they're in the raft. I mean, we've seen that shit 1,000
Yeah,
times.
yeah, yeah.
There's stupid shit like that. But I was really surprised about how much I wasn't bored, and I thought it was pretty funny like throughout.
The moment I was like, this might be better than I thought is
Mm-hmm.
when he does the shitty meeting. It's very early in the movie, and then it cuts to them at the Continental Breakfast. And
Mm-hmm.
he goes, I thought you did really great in there and everything.
Yeah.
And then Paul Hauser goes, don't condescend me. Like, and he, like I was like, it was kind of surprising. Instead of, you might do the straight guy, go, oh, you really think I did well, Mr. Salesman? You know,
Yeah.
it's like give the character more nuance.
His character was pretty odd for that type of character. Just he kept saying like weird things like, "I was supposed to go to law school, but ever the contrarian, I dropped out." Or
But it did have some massive issues. It takes almost 40 minutes before any of the action starts whatsoever. It's literally
yeah,
almost where they're running out of jail. Finally, something's happening that resembles action.
Well, I think like Bill Burr talked about like call it in actually in screenwriting said feel like page 10 where the movie actually what the plot kicks in, what it's about. That
Yeah.
doesn't kick in. Page 10 doesn't happen until like 30 minutes plus into the movie.
No, it takes 20 minutes to set up this. Look, the movie's about, we didn't even do the plot. Two guys interrupt a Brazil versus Argentina World Cup game, two Americans, and accidentally block a game winning kick or a game tying kick, and all of Brazil wants to kill him. That's the plot. So that doesn't happen until so late into the fuck. Before
Yeah,
that, a convoluted. We were making a condom that protects the dick and balls.
which makes
There's
no
a
sense.
Yeah. There's a 3 month break. Then they go to the main
Uh-huh.
game in World Cup, which you would think would be the climax, but no, that's like the movie's inciting incident, and then all it just takes fucking forever to get to it.
Yeah.
That's really bad pacing.
Well, it did strike me. I was wondering at some points where like, did they just start writing and not have an outline? Like they just it almost feels like it just flows from one scene to the next.
The idea of two stupid Americans blocking a kick, you can't do that in 10 pages. It takes you like 30
Yeah,
pages,
yeah,
and then
the
you like
small crazy corporate world, and yeah, maybe they like combine two scripts or something into one, or I don't know what.
it could be. And then they spend a lot of time with Sacha Baron Cohen. As funny as he was, they get there and the story stalls out. They're at
Yeah.
that fucking compound forever. Then they escape to the jungle, and then it
Mhm.
stalls out and they talk forever. They kill an alligator. And then they meet the cult like people or the activists, and that takes way too long. Then we
Yeah,
river
they
and
could have
start
been long.
talking.
Yeah, it should have been probably like a 90-minute movie, not a 100 and 6 minute. I don't know, but
It's 140 minutes and you feel every minute because there are times where they just stop and talk and shit and you're
yeah.
just like, let's go. Is there
I know. A lot of these we watch, I'll pause it and see, is it over yet? Is it over yet? I think I only did that like once. I think it was when they were in the jungle, and I was like, how much is left here?
I
But
did it several times. I was like,
yeah,
oh my God, there's still I'm only halfway through this shit. Like
yeah,
I did it several times in this
yeah.
movie. And it's a movie I surprisingly enjoyed more than I should have.
Now there is action. I think it would be a little bit of a stretch to call this an action movie. I mean, there's a little gunplay, there's some chases and stuff, so I think it counts, qualifies anyway. But I think it would be a little bit of a stretch to call this an action movie.
It 100% counts, but it is comedy first. It is comedy for anything, but there are chases, there is gunplay, there are people getting shot and killed. There's a
Mhm.
crime boss. Yeah, it's 100%. It 100% counts. But yes, it is more comedy than action.
Yeah, I'd say like these guys are just basically running away a lot. They don't do much like action. Like they don't. I don't think they throw a punch or shoot any guns or anything. But it's
But it
it's.
would be like saying Lethal Weapon doesn't count because there's not enough comedy. This is the other side of
Well, I
that.
think we did say Lethal didn't count the first one because it wasn't enough comedy when we covered it.
Even the
But
second one, this is more like Lethal Weapon 2, except it's comedy first, action second.
yeah, I mean, like I said, it qualifies. I think though because it did say like in the Wikipedia like this is an action movie, and I was like, oh, and like you said, like it's a half an hour before anything happens.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, for an action movie, this is like, is something going to happen? Like,
Yeah, I was like, Kenny's gonna rake me over the coals for this one for like 40 minutes. And then I was like, oh, thank God, someone's firing a gun. It's not as much as a buddy action comedy as the last one we did, which was Nick and
yeah,
Alice again.
yeah,
That
and I didn't
one
think that was a
was
buddy action comedy movie
That's a
either.
buddy
If
action
you wanted
comedy.
to
Now
tackle that,
that's the definitive buddy action comedy.
that's the creme de la creme.
I also broad comedies like gross out comedies like this,
Mhm.
they don't have the impact they should if they're not in theaters.
Yeah, it's strange. Like I think with a little bit of horror movies too. It's like when you see with a big audience and everyone's like jumping or laughing. Like I watched this movie like at 8 a.m. with drinking coffee. Like like this is probably not the most ideal time or setting, whatever, to be watching this.
You're just looking at the birds and watching the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you need the crowd. Because a lot of the shit, like when the fish, it's like the biggest comedic set piece, probably, or supposed to be, when
Yeah.
the fish tries to go up into his dick and he's holding his dick and he has to bite the fish out with his teeth.
Yeah. The
That
payoff wasn't that funny, but the Mark Wahlberg's line before that, there's a lot of lines like this where they're just where he's like pissing off the side. He's like, "Hey, these fish are trying to, drink the pee or something." Mark Wahlberg goes, "Ha! Those dumb bastards!"
but
It's a
also
dumb comedy. It made me laugh.
I I wouldn't have I didn't laugh at that scene. But if I was in
Yeah,
a theater where everybody's cracking up at the sight of a dick and a fish trying to get in,
yeah.
you'd get caught up in that and you'd start laughing, you know?
Or just watching someone with an infectious laugh can be like,
Yeah.
too. So yeah, it's. Do you, now they filmed this movie, or do you have more notes on the movie?
I just have one more.
Mm.
One of them, they didn't do a lot of buddy action comedy cliches and tropes. It's just homophobia. There's a lot of homophobia. Other than that,
Yeah,
they did pretty good.
yeah,
Go
it wasn't
ahead.
too much to it, but yeah, you got to check some of the boxes, of course. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. But you would think there'd be less homophobia, you know, like I don't know. That's why I
well, in this day and
appreciate
age, you
Deadpool's
you got to check.
pansexuality, you know, it leans into that instead of shying away from that. But
Well, I think there's what drops of the gay panic stuff, but
yeah,
yeah. I guess diehard cliches like the waterfall when they're in a raft. It's
yeah,
like,
that's true.
oh no, the waterfall. Yeah,
The second they're on the river, like they're gonna go for waterfall, then sure.
yeah.
All right, so what were you gonna say?
Well, I was gonna say like they filmed this movie like 2 years ago, and it was been not sitting on a shelf as long as like War of the Worlds, which was filmed like 5 years ago or something, and they finally just dumped it on Prime. But it has been sitting on the shelf for a while, and I didn't even know this movie's existence. So he said it was, it's available, it's on, ready to go. So I'm wondering if like, do they not have any faith in this when they show it? Because I think actually it might with international audiences, it might be popular. I suppose it's like number one show movie and stream. It just came out today or yesterday, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. You would think with the soccer element, it would do well. I don't know. I am not behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You know, Paul Hauser is a great actor, but
Mhm.
does he move the needle? Mark Wahlberg's Mark Wahlberg, so I don't know.
Right.
But also, a lot of Mark Wahlberg movies haven't been hitting the theater in years. You know.
I was thinking about that too because we did like Play Dirty, which I also liked. So right now, for me, he's like the king of the straight to prime. Like Nicolas Cage was the king of the red box years. Like
Yeah.
well, was king of straight to prime movies. But yeah, like Spencer Confidential, and I was thinking all his movies are basically just kind of going straight to streaming now. Anyway, a lot of them, like Adam Sandler's been doing that for 10 years or something. But
Well, broad
yeah,
comedies haven't hit in theaters in years. It's going to change.
yeah,
Everybody thought that the new Naked Gun would change everything. So they gave it a summer release. Like comedies are back.
uh-huh.
It did okay, but it made money, but it underperformed, I think.
Well, maybe
So,
people just don't want to go to bother seeing a silly comedy in the theater anymore, which is a bummer, like you said, because when you're with a packed house that's all cracking up, it's a different experience.
yeah, it's a much different experience. But I think Scary Movie will do well this summer. So we'll
Oh,
see.
that might be, bring people back. We'll see. But like I said, we thought Naked Gun would too, but
Yeah. So, and do you have anything else to say about this movie?
well, I was going to say stuff like,
Go for it.
Paul, do we know Paul something Hauser? Paul
Paul
Walker
Hauser.
Hauser?
Paul Walter Hauser.
Walter Hauser, Paul Walter Hauser. Yeah, I follow. He's on Letterboxd. He does review movies. He reviews a lot of his own movies, and he does not give some of them good reviews, which is interesting. Like I think he was in like that buddy action comedy movie Play Date, and he was like 2 stars. Like I had fun, like, that's what his like PR team thinks of it. But he gave this movie 4 stars and said, I'm proud of this movie. I don't give a fuck. So.
He was really funny on Instagram. I feel like we've talked about him before. It doesn't matter. He's a funny guy.
Well, he pops up in every other movie, it seems, these days. He's kind of one of those character actors get hot for a while too. And then there's like Paul Giamatti or something. He's like every other movie for like 3 or 4 years. And
he's very religious and he's friends with Mark Wahlberg. He'd go over to his house and like work out with him.
and it's
Or
you said Mark Brown has like prayer room or like a prayer
yeah,
flex
he has a
room.
prayer corner and like yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah.
And he goes and he sits down on this like really expensive with the elbows have like pads.
Yeah.
He sits down in prayers and he gets up. It's like it's pretty
Nice.
cool. Yeah.
Sick, bro. Yeah.
It's
Now, if
really
you ever invited me over, Kenny, want to come over and pray with me, bro? I'll show you how to pray, man. You could pray so
That's
hard.
why you don't want to be friends with celebrities. You go over, they do shit like that. You're like, Cool. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let me get a crack at that corner.
I think I heard something that like Tom Cruise had a dinner party, invited some comic over, just like, hey, we're having dinner. And then after dinner, they're all sitting in a circle in his living room. He's like, and Tom Cruise was like, now I want to know who thinks communism was a good idea. Who wants to go first? He was like, what? What are we doing? What are we doing here?
Yeah. Be careful. They're
But
fucking
no one wants to say
freaks.
like, what? What are you talking about? Why, I don't want to get into this shit. Like,
So how would you rate this movie then?
I would give it like 3.5 out of 5 because I did enjoy it. I was entertained and I thought it was pretty funny. And I think it's one of the funnier movies for comedies we've actually reviewed. I laughed out loud more watching this than I can think of anything off the top of my head. So
Yeah, I would give it 3 stars as a movie because it is surprisingly funny. I don't think I would ever watch it if it weren't for this podcast.
oh, I think I would have skipped this piece. I was like, this is a piece of shit.
But as a buddy action comedy, I can only give it 2.5 because the action just isn't there. There's takes too long to get going, and the action that is there isn't very engaging or well done. So
And like I said, I think it was a bit of a stretch to call it an action movie, even though it like would
yeah,
qualify, but barely.
but still, for
Yeah,
our podcast, which we take
yeah,
very seriously.
yeah. Everyone does.
Yeah, but watch it if you're drunk and don't give a shit and have very low expectations.
Well,
You might enjoy it.
I think a lot of people are going to think this is a funny movie to tune into it. If you're looking for like I said, like an old school kind of dumb comedy, like I think it delivers. But I don't know why you would tune into a movie called Balls Up and not, I don't know what you're expecting.
Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of dicks
A
and
lot of
dick
dick jokes.
jokes.
Yeah.
Yep. That's it. What are we doing? What's our real movie? I know we covered it last week, but
Well, we always say a movie, then we're like, hey, we're doing this. So it always changes.
hey, things pop up. We're pliable. We're buddies
Yeah.
and buddies. We're not.
Well, I think it's whatever piece of shit movie comes on Hulu or Prime or whatever. It's gonna be our next movie. We don't know yet.
But without that, we're doing Pam Moriata. I didn't say his name.
Yeah,
right.
I want to do a
Jay
collision
Leno.
course. The Pat Morita and Jay Leno team up from the 80s.
Cool. So the Straits open. How do you feel about that? Oh, hold on. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's closed again.
Damn it.
Damn. That was fun though. It really is though. They're threatening to close it again already.
Yeah.
These jokers. You know who should run their world? You and me.
Yeah, for that. Yeah.
What would
Dictator me.
just you and me? What would be your first act as world leader?
I'd put cocaine back in Coke.
Okay, what would be your second act?
All steroids are legal in all sports. Just, smoke them if you got them.
Thanks for watching Buddies